So some big news was actually coming out that I ran across with Liam Paro and Kambosos going back and forth with each other. And this just goes to show that, every country has issues as far as with fighters and guys, rivalries and, just different things, struggles to support. One guy supporting when it feels like the other's not. It's not really hometown hero love. Not really looked at as a ally, more of a competitor. Promotional companies going against each other, not really feeling like they have a good relationship. All of that ties into this situation with Australia's very own George Kambosos Jr. and Liam Paro, some of the most successful, if not most successful fighters from Australia recently. Especially with Kambosos, guy has been put the country on his back recently, ever since Jeff Horn. And a lot of times feel like Kambosos is not getting the credit he deserves as far as the tough challenges. Like I told people recently, Kambosos is taking harder fights than a lot of your favorite fighters. No matter what anybody says. His first fight at 140 is against a champion, and Richardson Hitchens, who just defeated Liam Paro, who defeated Sabril Matias, the Boogeyman, last year. And Kambosos, somebody said, so as far as George Kambosos was reacting to Liam Paro's loss last year against Hitchens, and he was just saying that, he was going for Liam Paro and he supports him, and that he's gonna I think he said peanut brain of Hitchens, he was gonna beat him up or something. Get some revenge back. And he was just giving support to Paro. And somebody said that George Kambosos never discredited Paro. Always had his back. Sour take from Paro today. He chose to defend against Hitchens, where he could have had a domestic fight. They're talking about when Liam Paro fought Hitchens, when he could have had a domestic mega fight against George Kambosos in Australia, which made way more sense than Hitchens. Now he's on the no limit train. Mention Kambosos at all costs. So they're saying that No Limit Promotions is using the Kambosos name to, promote allegedly. And then Kambosos said, "Ain't nothing new, brother. Signed to the biggest circus, Limited Promotions, and their go-to market plan is to talk about Kambosos, showed his true colors, supported even when he got his head outboxed. Very un-Australian, and will beg when I return with that belt. Problem is, I never ever do business with them cowboy promoters ever. F the rats, they all need under the thumbs. We stuck true, real gangster, F Limit, F him, and F Australia media. I am my own media. Us against everyone. Tunnel Vision, June 14th. Yeah, exactly. Kambosos, he feels like, and I haven't seen that recently. That's why I was doing a lot of things. I didn't get to cover his last fight live. I think that was on my mistake. I was trying to, I actually wanted to. But Kambosos has been putting in work over the years, but he doesn't feel valued from his own country in a lot of ways. Feels like he's overlooked, pushed out of the way for other fighters. Other guys just haven't done as much as he did, as getting more publicity and support. He feels like a black sheep sometimes, outcast. Australian media, he feels like, doesn't cover him like they should be. And it is what it is. I can agree with him on a lot of different things. I don't know personally because I'm not in Australia, but it is what it is, man. A lot of guys in our country as well, America, we have a lot of fighters that's in that same position. They give everything they can. They put the country on their back, and they got to be their own media. And it's just us against everyone, even in the cases sometimes with me, as far as looking at things. But even Kambosos knows, man, the media is, and then he said very un-Australia. A lot of people do things un-American, so I can understand where he's coming from, because to be a fighter who's brought Devin Haney to Australia twice and everything else, and these other guys haven't even done nothing like that. Yeah, I would be upset and feel like I'm overlooked, and I would have the same kind of outlook. But you know, that's just people got to be in his shoes though. If you're not in his shoes, you'll never understand. And most of those guys have not been at that level, so they'll never understand. But this is a beef that Kambosos is mad about because Liam Paro sitting there talking about I'll be putting money for George not to see the final bell. So he's expecting George Kambosos to get knocked out after George Kambosos just supported him. So it seems like George Kambosos is like, man, every time I try to play team ball and I try to play ball, man, it's like I'm being used to promote somebody, or I'm being used, you know, to be put in a certain spot, or be slandered for no reason, or be used as somebody else for promotion. But I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. But this is a beef that I wouldn't say it's super serious, but it ain't gonna be no handshakes going on. That's all I got.